Welcome to Hickory Street Podcast. This is episode 3 with Angela Banks and what was your name again? I forgot.
May's Behavior.
May's Behavior. All right. Thanks for coming on to the show. Just wanted to kind of get a quick introduction, just to say where you're from, where you currently live, how long you guys have been playing music together, that sort of thing.
Well, my name is Angela Banks, as you have already stated. I lived in Sugar Land, Houston. I just moved over here to Denton.
Oh, Sugar Land's in Houston, area?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
I don't know
the suburban
why.
area.
I don't know why, but I was thinking West Texas. I have no idea why that thought came to my head, though.
Yeah, it's weird, I know.
Huh. Cool. So how long did you live? You still currently live there?
Oh, no, Denton.
No, so you live in Denton now. Okay, that makes sense. I was about to say. There's no way you drove 4 hours for a podcast.
No, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
But
Cool.
yeah.
How long have you lived in Denton so far?
Just about a week.
Really? You've only been in Denton for a week now?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. How long have you been playing music together?
Oh, we're separate artists. We're
We've
solo.
never collaborated before.
Oh, okay. I thought. I
we're
didn't
going on
realize
tour
that.
together and stuff.
Oh, that's why you came together? That makes
Yeah.
sense. All right. What kind of music do you do?
I play psychedelic folk trip. I sing and I compose it beforehand.
Nice. Psychedelic
Folk trip.
folk trip?
Oh, folk trip.
Folk trip?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I've never heard that genre before, honestly. That's cool. You'll have to send me some links after
Definitely.
this.
Glad
Yeah, I listen to your music. I really like it.
Thank you so much.
I can tell that you put a lot of time into the production. Who did you do it through?
I did it through, there was this guy named Kenneth David. He produces for a lot of R&B and soul singers, and he's kind of very underground in Houston. I went to Houston to go record my stuff. He got discounts, actually, so I was like, I'm going to use my card for that, for my savings. So he kind of helped me write some songs, and I just did the vocal gymnastics and stuff on the song, so.
Awesome. How long did it take you to do it? Because what you sent me on SoundCloud, I only saw 3 or 4 songs. Is that all that you've recorded so far?
Well, I have more.
Okay.
I'm planning to release it time after time.
Gotcha. Just as you play more shows and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
In between. That's the deal.
Awesome. Well, how did you start playing music? When did you start? Did you start off just singing, or did you play an instrument, or?
I sang.
Yeah.
When I was 6, 7, actually, I grew up singing in church. And then I would sing at events and weddings for family. And so I just knew that was my first love. And I just love music, especially old school R&B music. So, some of my influences, they're Aretha Franklin, Mariah Carey, Whitney Houston.
Nice.
And then some of the new stuff I like. I like Janine. If you know an R&B singer named Janine, or Say Grace.
No,
people.
I don't think so. I've never heard Janine.
Janine.
No, I've never heard Janine.
She's pretty underground. You should check her out.
All right, yeah, I'll check it out. Are they on Spotify?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's my main music listening platform right now is Spotify. So.
Me too.
Yeah, I used to have SoundCloud downloaded, but it's not very listener friendly from the aspect of keeping up with an artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, I feel like whenever I was on SoundCloud, at least, I would come across some really cool songs, but they were from artists that didn't put out anything else except for that song, and there was there wasn't a way for me to really stay engaged with them. I found myself just sort of listening to stuff and then not keeping up with anything else that they would do. So that's one thing. I haven't been on I haven't re-downloaded the app in a long time. It's been a few years, but I felt like it was hard for me to. I'm a very thorough listener, at least. I don't know how you listen to music, but whenever I listen to music, it's like I want to listen to an entire album, and I want to understand the concept.
Oh,
of the
that's
album.
me.
Like,
People think I'm so weird. Like, can I explain? Like,
yeah, go for it.
all right. I was in the car driving one of my friends back to her house. She was like, "You listened to the whole album?" It was like some Tina Marie album. She's an old school R&B singer. If you don't know who she is. Okay, I'll give you a list after we're done with this interview.
Yeah, I will definitely say that your style of music is not one that I'm thoroughly versed in. Like, I don't know a whole lot, but I mean, I enjoy R&B, obviously.
Thank you so much.
Mariah Carey is awesome. I mean,
she is.
that vocal range, Jesus. I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah.
And especially Aretha Franklin, she was just a powerhouse vocalist.
She was.
But yeah, definitely send me some links. What were you saying about that? About her? So you were talking about a friend of yours.
Well, she was basically saying, "Why are you listening to the full album?" I was like, "That's how I listen to stuff." She was like, "Why aren't you just listening to a playlist?"
Okay, yeah, that's how most people listen to music now. Honestly,
people like to feel immersed for the most part, and concept albums really provide that. Even though a lot of albums that have varying themes still can do the same thing. Yeah. When you listen to one that has this one story or concept that really stays loyal throughout the whole thing, it kind of feels like you enter this other plane.
Yeah, and I think that's what the appeal is for vinyl sort of making a resurgence, is that putting on a record and having a badass sound system set up that just sort of surrounds you with the song. I mean, you don't have to listen to vinyl records that way, but in the most the warmest way possible on a really nice sound system on vinyl. I had a friend of mine, I would just spend hours just hanging out and just listening to records and just being right there at the same level as the speakers and just sitting and just letting the sound immerse you. There's a really cool appeal about it, at least I think so. It's cool. So, what would you say are some of your favorite albums?
From each artist, or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh goodness. So even though I'm a vocalist, I've been listening to some hip hop. I was thinking if we could just put some powerhouse vocals on hip hop, that would be pretty cool, because I don't think people do that. Tupac, All Eyes on Me, and Biggie's Life After Death, and so yeah. And then some other albums I love. Let me see. I love Mariah Carey's debut album. You remember Love Takes Time to heal when you're hurting so much. Couldn't see that I was blind. Yeah. I love that song. I just do. But that's one of my favorite cuts from that song.
And because that album came out what?
1990.
It was 1990 that it came out?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Oh, man. I would... It's been a long time since I've heard that song in particular, but I've never listened to the entire record all the way through. I don't think I've ever done that. I should check that out.
Etta James is one of my favorite too. Her 1960 album, it's great.
Etta James?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
She's great,
I've never heard her before either.
Okay. If you've heard At Last, do you remember? At last, my love has come along.
Yeah,
that one.
All right. Awesome. So, how did you both meet, actually? I'm just curious.
I met through Facebook.
Yeah, it's weird. So, I was trying to do some shows. I was, getting people through, I was, looking for somebody to hop on with me because, I'm pretty new to it. I just started in 2019 doing some for my hometown in Houston. Doing some gigs. So I was thinking we can really do this around the way, kind of have some fun with it. And, so I was like, I'm going to pick a really good artist who I think would fit this, and I think he would fit it. So
Cool.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So have you played locally yet? Like played in Denton?
Well, I
Yeah,
played. I think it was Tom's DeQuery. I've played there before. If you've seen that before, they have it on the weekend sometime.
No, I don't think I've heard that.
Oh, okay. Well, it's like a lot of people didn't know that, but like you can play it on the weekends. But there's only a few people that come in during the weekends. It's mostly just a pay thing. It's not like selling tickets, so
Oh,
I would do
okay.
it for pay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. So do you have plans for an album, or do you have one already recorded, or
Well, I have like a little EP, as you could see, like 3 or 4 songs.
right.
I plan to do another album. I plan to actually come back like between takes to see if I could just, record something, and then in May I will take a break because it's like from January to May. We have like about 14, 15 dates or so. So I'll just definitely use 2 or 3 months to just make like an album, and I want it to be like at least 10 songs or so. 10 to 12 songs.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. And what were you saying about you said something through May?
Oh, the dates are through May. We have about 14, 15 dates for the tour.
Oh, okay. You've already got it booked. You've already like contacted venues and.
Yep.
Wow.
You gotta be like on your game, because like when you do it like a month in advance, sometimes they're just like not gonna answer. I've just learned that.
Yeah, I'm currently working on getting our band out there on tour sometime this summer, but the first time I reached out to people, they were asking me a bunch of questions that I didn't even really felt like I didn't even know that I would have had to have this stuff put together already for them to just quickly look over. So after I got enough questions back, I was like, all right, I know what they were looking for, and so I spent some time on making a press release type thing that just sort of answered all those questions in one spot.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's great that you already have it booked, though.
Thanks.
That must have been a lot of work, just back and forth.
It is. We even had to cancel some, so it was like, oh man, I worked so hard for that. But it's like, we had to cancel some because some of them are not doable. But
Big thanks to the Altitude, by the way, Dylan Tarver. I don't know if you know him.
Oh yeah.
He's going to be touring on about half these dates with us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we had a driver at one point who was going to be playing as the third act, and they fell through at the last moment. But Dylan said that he'd fill in. So
yeah.
Dylan's a cool guy.
Definitely.
He sounds so nice. I've never really met him, but I do plan to meet him.
Super
Just
friendly.
got these musicians together. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, cool. So you said you do have plans for an album, like 12 songs, you said? Something like that?
Mm-hmm. I love recording music.
Have you already, like, chosen someone who you're going to do it with?
Still looking. I'm still looking for, like, do you know anybody who, like, they produce, like, vocalists here in Denton? Because I just did in, like, H-Town, so.
Oh, okay. In Denton, I mean, I know there's a few people that record just like sort of out of their apartment. I don't really know anybody other than like Michael Briggs that like has a studio set up.
Okay.
I'm sure that there's people around here that have a home studio.
I could ask around.
I could give you my producer's number, and he'd be happy to talk to you.
Amazing.
He gives a lot of like good prices too, and he honestly like does a lot of projects. With Gitmo Studios, which is run by this guy named Keldrick out here, but it's a really popular studio. He's an intern there, so he works at both basically, but he will pick up projects aside from it to basically occupy in the meantime, and he's really dedicated. He's so good at it. You would have a lot of fun with him.
Definitely. Thank you for that.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. So, have you like gone to shows around here? I mean, you said you moved out to Denton like a week ago, right? Have you gone out to shows around here before?
I have.
Yeah.
And then like I didn't even realize this, but in LSA Burger, they actually like do live music too. I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, yeah. They have stuff even during the week. They have like open mics, and then I think they also have bands come in on the weekends, and they have a performance during the day, like during the lunch hour or something like that. I don't remember. All I know is I was hanging out there one day, and it was like 3 in the afternoon, and there was this badass like Tejano band that was playing. They were a lot of fun. They got everybody moving. It was cool. Yeah. So what is saying that? What's your favorite venue?
My favorite venue, I remember like I was trying to get like Rubber Glove Studios. Like, but then I figured out because at the beginning of 2019, it was kind of closed down, and then like mid 2019 it opened back up. I was kind of upset because like I was looking I was looking forward to playing with Rubber House Gloves Studios, but they had canceled for a few years, because I had been here like before, like in 2016, 17.
Yeah, I know they closed down. I think that they closed down either the year that I moved here, or it was either the year that I moved here or the year after I moved here.
I think it was early 2018, but I remember seeing a few shows there, and I was like, this is a great venue. And Andy's is one of my favorites. I love Andy's.
Yeah, Andy's is cool. That would make sense. So I guess it was like a year after I had moved here then, if it was... Okay. Huh. Yeah, Andy's is a cool place, too.
Yeah, very good.
I went to a show recently at Rubber Gloves. I never saw what it looked like before, so I have no reference. But it was a cool setup. I mean, they have a nice outside area too that they're going to be able to do stuff during the day at, which is really cool just because recently Backyard on Bell closed down. So
yeah, see, that's another one. I really love that one too. I forgot about it. November it closed down, I think, after the holidays.
Yeah, I think so.
That made me so sad. It was like I was planning to play there. Like I was gonna book that for this tour. I really was.
Everybody was sad. I was taking a Palestinian history class, and my professor, she was the one who brought it up, and I it's funny, I heard it from my professor because I know a lot of musicians, and I used to know people that like booked shows there, yeah, I heard it from my professor. She's like, "Oh, Backyard on Bell closed down," and I was just like, "What?"
Did you just casually said it like that?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't even imagine.
Yeah, but anyways, so Rubber Gloves is a really cool setup, though. I'm really happy with the way that just like the atmosphere there, and it seems like they're open to having people fill up their dates. So
they're super great, dude. Honestly, like hands down, my favorite place I've ever played. The stage is like so nice. Like they have like the nicest lights. So like whenever bands go up there, like Killers kind of has it like this, but the lights that they have there, they create such an atmosphere for the audience. It's so cool.
Like really intimate.
Mm-hmm. They have like all these different colors that just kind of spin from the ceiling and stuff like that. They're really, really well done.
Yeah.
I saw that because it was like so amazing to me. It's not like other venues, really.
Much more of like an auditorium-esque kind of a stage. It's kind of elevated and everything. It's like built into the wall and everything.
Yeah, it's kind of legendary in a way. There's just so many amazing musicians that played in that place before it closed down the first time or whatever, which I think they're still doing the rehearsal studio space. They're just in the upstairs portion. But one of my favorite bands, Parquet Courts, their lead singer and was in another band called Teenage Cool Kids from Denton. It was like 2007, 2008 I think, I want to say in like 2000, either 2007, 2008, or 2008, 2000, or 2009, 2010, like somewhere between that time frame. But I know that whenever he moved from Denton and started Parquet Courts in New York, they came through and toured, and they played, I believe, the Rubber Gloves closing show or something like that.
Yeah.
So I really wish I would have gone to that show. But that kind of reminds me, do you guys like go out and see shows very often? And if you do you have one that you would say is probably your favorite?
It was this show. Okay, my friend, she knows that I just love, soul music, and I love R&B music.
Uh-huh.
I think it was something, excuse me if I don't know the name, something Pause, Preacher Pause or something like that.
Preacher Pause?
I think.
Okay.
It's something like that. Excuse me if I don't know the name. I hope they don't hear this, but
Oh, that's okay.
they were like so amazing. Southpaw Preachers, that was the name.
Southpaw Preachers.
There we go. There we
Okay.
go. Okay. They were like great. I just really love their music. It's very authentic. And the sound just it's like today's modern music married the old school music. It's like a really good mix. It doesn't sound generic, because
Yeah.
some people don't try and pick like from old stuff and it sounds generic, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like it's like they weren't trying to be anybody else. It's their own thing, And
Right,
that's what
yeah.
I like,
Not
not like anyone else.
Have you ever heard of a band called St. Paul and the Broken Bones?
I've never heard that.
Oh, really? You should check them out. The way you were describing it sounds kind of like their music. They mix, like old blues, R&B, kind of style music, and they do it in a way that sounds modern. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't. And I think they're from Alabama. They recorded in Muscle Shoals.
Oh
right?
yeah, I love that. I watched the documentary.
Oh yeah, that's a great documentary.
Because as I was little, when I was little, I would like always emulate the blues singers. Like they have the deep, sultry voices. Like I was always emulating it. Because that's why I liked more than just regular pop music. And, yeah.
Yeah. Those old songs, they had a lot of good pop sensibility as well. Still using instrumentation, which was, it's just a classic sound, to be able to write songs like that. That's something that was very appealing to me about Adele. I was a huge Adele fan for a while.
I was too.
Especially Adele 19, like that album, just...
What about
It's a
21?
great album. 21 is an amazing album too.
25.
I don't remember if I've listened to that
I
one.
think that's her most recent one, I think.
Yeah, I don't think I listened to that one.
There were like
honestly.
2 songs I've heard from that one, but 21 was just revelatory.
Yeah, that was her definitely. That was her shining moment, I think, as an artist. That album was like, it was just the pinnacle of her artistic ability, I feel like, at the time.
He had so many hits on one little disc.
I remember it was like on my homecoming, I had my homecoming date and stuff and whatever. That song came on, the Nevermind I'll Find Someone Like You, that song. You remember like those days, that was like 2011, I can't believe, till like almost 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school.
I was a freshman.
You were such a
14.
baby. I was like 13 when I started listening to like Adele. Rolling in the Deep.
Yeah, that was my jam.
So are you guys the same age then?
Wait, how old are you?
Well, I'm 22, but I'm
22?
going to be
Okay.
turning 23 in August, so
Oh, okay.
22 and a half, I guess.
What day in August?
28th, August 28th.
Oh, okay.
Some of Virgos, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was trying to figure out. My brother is born in August 7th, so he's a Leo.
Nice.
Yeah.
3 weeks before me.
Oh, okay. Nice. And you're younger?
I'm actually 21. I thought you guys were older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm born in November. I'm a Scorpio.
Oh, okay. Cool. There you go. If you're listening to this, now you know everybody's sign. I don't know why I don't know why I keep up with it. I just, like, it's just, I know that there's no scientific basis for any of it, but I don't know. On some level, I feel like if you believe that gravitational force between the sun and the earth is so important, wouldn't you think that maybe the gravitational force of everything else in the universe somehow makes an impact on your course of life? I don't know. This is getting into a deep conversation. Yeah. So, do you have, when does your tour start exactly?
Well, so our first date is actually going to be at Juice Lab, January 31st here in Denton, at 7.
Okay. January 21st?
Oh, wait, 31st.
31st. Oh. Okay, I was going to say that it would have already passed.
That would be awkward.
So January 31st at Juice Lab.
Yeah. You want me to tell all the Denton dates?
Yeah, you can do all the Denton dates.
Okay. And then I can just let them know. Hold on. So the second one is going to be February 4th at J&J's Pizza. The third one, Lunar Lounge, at February 8th. And February 10th is at Margie's house, which is a house show.
Okay.
And then the final one that's going to be in Denton is Golden Boy Coffee.
Golden Boy Coffee. Okay, cool. Margie House, right?
Yeah, Margie's house.
Margie's
I think the guitarist from Peyote Peasants is the owner over there.
Oh, see, I don't know that band. I've never heard of them. I've heard of Margie House, though. I've never been there either, though. I'm kind of out of the loop right now as far as... It's been... I go through periods where I go out and see a lot of bands play and like go to shows all the time. And then I go through periods where I just... I'm just inside, don't want to do anything. Like, I'm a truly introverted person. So, but I haven't been in a mood to really go out and see music super frequently recently. Yeah. I know I'll get the urge again. I went and saw a show on Monday. Have you heard of Genius Christ?
No.
Oh, okay. I saw their band play with Goodwill at Killer's Tacos. It was a cool show. But it's been a while since I've been to a house show even. But I just don't keep up with house shows either. I tend to just prefer going to a venue anyway. Just I can't do crowded rooms. You know what I mean? Like, just overly crowded rooms.
I don't know. One benefit to Denton's house shows is how respectful everyone is at most of the houses.
Yeah,
they
everybody's
don't get so
very
crazy.
yeah.
You rarely see people swinging from the rafters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They're more just hanging out and having a good time.
It always gives you rules like don't be disrespectful or prejudiced towards anybody, and everybody's just there to have a good time, and nobody has to worry about anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't ever see fights happening at these parties. No one's ever getting into tussles. No. People are just chilling.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. I've seen a couple of random people just get way too drunk and throw up. That's always kind of funny.
I hope that doesn't happen at ours. No, we can't have that.
The last house show I people punched 2 holes in my ceiling while one of the bands came.
Oh, jeez.
It was like a screamo band, and I didn't know they were that heavy because I didn't do any research on it. And then people just went crazy. They just started punching holes in the ceiling. Apparently, they took a bunch of shrooms. And 8, 9, 10 people were just tripping balls in my room. And they run into this third room they have with the stage, and they just start punching holes.
Oh my god, dude, this sounds wild.
It was magnificent.
Damn, that's funny. Is there anything else you want to announce or mention?
Okay, so I don't know. Would we be able to have our social media links, like maybe in the description?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we can throw some social media. If you want, you can still say it on the podcast that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instagram.com/paypay1884.
Okay. And do you have a Facebook page for your music or?
Well, I have Angela Banks.
Okay. All right. Cool.
And you can follow my music on either Instagram, Facebook, SoundCloud, or Bandcamp, simply by the name Maze Behavior. Or if you want to look me up by name, you can look me up by Eric Fulbright.
All right. So yeah, check out their music. Thanks for listening to Hickory Street Podcast. You can find a link to her SoundCloud in the description of this video too. So,
Yeah.
all right. Thanks for listening.